Aston Villa, Liverpool and now Arsenal. PSG are on fire. PSG's journey to the 2024-25 UEFA Champions League final has been nothing short of transformative. Under the astute leadership of Luis Enrique, PSG has evolved from a star-studded ensemble into a cohesive, tactically disciplined unit. This metamorphosis has been most evident in their European campaign, where they systematically dismantled top English clubs, Liverpool, Aston Villa and Arsenal, to secure their place in the final against Inter Milan. Paris Saint-Germain have reached the UEFA Champions League final for the second time in their history, following a 3-1 aggregate victory over Arsenal in the semi-finals. They will face Inter Milan in the final at the Allianz Arena in Munich on May 31, 2025, under the guidance of manager Luis Enrique with key contributions from most of their players. This contrasts with previous seasons when the club, despite having star players like Neymar, Kylian Mbappé and Lionel Messi, failed to secure European glory. Round of 16. PSG faced Liverpool in the round of 16, a tie that tested their resilience. After a 1-0 loss in the first leg, PSG responded with a 1-0 victory in the second leg, courtesy of their talisman's goal Ousmane Dembélé. The match proceeded to penalties, where Donnarumma's crucial saves secured PSG's advancement. Quarter-finals. In the quarter-finals, PSG encountered Aston Villa. The first leg in Paris ended in a 3-1 victory for PSG, with goals from Doué, Kvaratskhelia and Nuno Mendes. The second leg was another high-scoring affair, but PSG managed to progress with a 5-4 aggregate score. Semi-finals. The semi-finals pitted PSG against Arsenal. Dembélé's goal in the first leg secured a 1-0 win. In the second leg, PSG extended their lead with goals from Fabian Ruiz and Hakimi. Despite Arsenal's efforts, including a goal from Saka, PSG held on for a 2-1 victory, resulting in a 3-1 aggregate win and their second final in the history of the club. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why is this PSG team, without Neymar, Messi or Kylian Mbappé, succeeding where those generational talents failed? Between 2021 and 2023, PSG had the most feared front three in the world, on paper. But in practice, it was dysfunctional. All three players were elite, but none were particularly willing to defend. That left the midfield exposed, the fullbacks overwhelmed, and the whole structure fragile. PSG was a team split in half. When they came up against disciplined sides, like Manchester City or Bayern Munich, the lack of cohesion was brutally exposed. Yes, Mbappé scored goals. Neymar dazzled. Messi, of course, had magic moments, but football isn't won on highlights, it's won on systems, and PSG had a chaotic one. In contrast, the current side defends from the front. Instead of 3 players who wanted the ball, they now have 11 who work without it. They had stars but no spine, and crucially, the midfield now controls games, instead of being passengers between defence and attack. It was almost like the back 7 tried to defend while the front 3 watched. It wasn't laziness, it was just misalignment of purpose, whether it's Dembélé, Barcola, Kvaratskhelia or Doué. Saying this, the squad still has its standout players, the redemption. Ousmane Dembélé's transformation this season has been remarkable. After joining PSG from Barcelona in August 2023, Dembélé initially faced challenges adapting to his new environment. However, under Luis Enrique's guidance, he has evolved into a decisive player for PSG. Dembélé's Champions League contributions have been significant. In the group stage, he scored a hat-trick against VfB Stuttgart, showcasing his attacking prowess. His performance against Liverpool in the round of 16 was equally impressive, scoring the equalising goal in the second leg and converting his penalty in the shootout. In the semi-finals against Arsenal, Dembélé scored the only goal in the first leg at the Emirates Stadium, providing PSG with a crucial advantage. His ability to deliver in high-stakes matches has been a testament to his growth and importance to the team. Ousmane Dembélé's transformation this season at Paris Saint-Germain has been surprising. Once viewed as a player of immense raw talent but lacking consistency in the final third, Dembélé has evolved under Luis Enrique into one of the most dangerous wide forwards in Europe. Known throughout his career for his dazzling dribbling, ambidexterity and acceleration, Dembélé had often been criticised for one glaring weakness: his finishing. At Barcelona, and even during his early months at PSG, he was guilty of wasting clear-cut chances, often overcomplicating shots, or showing a lack of composure in front of goal. That narrative has changed entirely in the 2024-25 campaign. This season, Dembélé has not only contributed assists, but has also emerged as a lethal scorer. His finishing has taken a significant leap, both in volume and efficiency. In all competitions, he has already doubled his best-ever goal tally from a single season. No longer rushing or hesitating, Dembélé now selects his shots with the decisiveness of a seasoned striker. The improvement in his finishing isn't accidental. Luis Enrique has simplified his role and repositioned him higher up the pitch. Instead of dropping deep or taking defenders on from midfield, Dembélé now often receives the ball close to the box, even as a striker sometimes. This adjustment has increased the quality of his chances and forced him to operate with greater efficiency. His expected goals, XG per shot, have improved significantly, indicating he's getting into better areas, but more importantly, he's taking those chances. Where he once hesitated or scuffed attempts, Dembélé now strikes through the ball with clarity and precision. Technically, he's refined his shooting mechanics. With both feet, he's become more balanced and composed. Off the ball, he's also improved his awareness and positioning. Instead of lingering on the touchline, Dembélé now cuts inside more intelligently, often arriving late into pockets of space, a trait reminiscent of elite forwards. He's become less predictable, more instinctive, and significantly more dangerous. Most notably, he's developed the confidence of a match winner. In previous seasons, Dembélé was a highlight reel player who could dazzle but disappear. Now he's decisive. PSG fans no longer just hope he'll deliver, they expect it. And time again this season, especially on Europe's biggest stage, he has. This new, clinical version of Ousmane Dembélé has been a revelation, and a key reason PSG find themselves just one game away from European glory. This season, Paris Saint-Germain have not just reached the UEFA Champions League final, they've bulldozed their way through Europe's elite. From tactical maturity to squad cohesion, PSG have become the most balanced and fearsome team in the competition. But how did they do it, and why is it working now, when it never quite did under the star-studded trio of Neymar, Messi and Mbappé? Fabian Ruiz has arguably been PSG's most important player this season. In the semi-final second leg against Arsenal, it was his poise, his goal, and his midfield control that calmed PSG's nerves. He's the perfect bridge between defence and attack, elegant, press-resistant, and always available to receive under pressure. He doesn't just pass, he dictates tempo. And Bradley Barcola, he's been the surprise package perhaps just ahead of the young French star Doué. Barcola stretches defences with pace, creating overloads on the wing and giving PSG a directness they lacked in previous seasons. He's fearless and essential. Gianluigi Donnarumma, the Guardian of Paris. Central to PSG's success has been the stellar performances of goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma. His presence between the posts has provided the team with confidence and stability. In the round of 16 against Liverpool, Donnarumma's heroics were pivotal. After a 1-0 defeat in the first leg, PSG levelled the aggregate score in the second leg, leading to a penalty shootout. Donnarumma's saves against Darwin Núñez and Curtis Jones ensured PSG's progression to the quarter-finals. Facing Arsenal in the semi-finals, Donnarumma once again rose to the occasion. Despite Arsenal generating between 2.7 and 3.2 expected goals, the highest PSG conceded all season, Donnarumma's crucial saves, including attempts from Martinelli, Martin Ødegaard, and Bukayo Saka, preserved PSG's lead. His performance was instrumental in PSG's 3-1 aggregate victory over the Gunners. Achraf Hakimi, once considered an overly attacking fullback, has matured under Luis Enrique. His defensive awareness has grown, and his goal in the semi-final second leg was vintage. He's become a symbol of balance, attack when needed, stay back when it matters. He's one of Europe's most complete fullbacks today. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia move to Paris Saint-Germain in the summer of 2024 was one of the most impactful transfers of the season. Arriving from Napoli, the Georgian winger brought flair, directness, and an unrelenting work ethic. His ability to beat defenders one-on-one and cut inside to create or score proved invaluable, especially in the Champions League, scoring against Aston Villa and assisting against Arsenal, and has been an absolute nightmare for all European right-backs he's come across, making him a vital piece in their European run. Even players like Marquinhos and Nuno Mendes, who locked down one of the best players in the world this season, over 180 minutes, Mohamed Salah. Marquinhos has contributed with leadership, tactical discipline, and defensive solidity. Marquinhos, once prone to lapses in big games, now looks like a true captain, calm, aggressive when needed, and constantly organising. Hernandez has provided a rugged edge, especially when PSG have had to get physical. This PSG is not about 3 stars in attack, it's about 11 players moving as one, And at the heart of it all is Luis Enrique. The former Barcelona treble winner has transformed PSG from a disjointed star club into a functional machine. Tactically, he's modernised PSG and done something very few could: establish a coherent identity in a club notorious for revolving door management and ego-driven transfer policies. He's abandoned the luxury model. Instead of relying on moments of magic, Enrique's PSG thrives on pressing triggers, positional play, and transitional excellence. He has the team operating like clockwork. The structure is clear, everyone has a role, and perhaps more importantly, everyone knows when not to do too much. Most importantly, he's instilled a sense of humility, a rarity in a club known for glitz and glamour. His training sessions are reportedly intense, focused, and constantly evolving. His communication with players is clear and direct. There's no drama, no indulgence, just preparation, repetition, execution. Luis Enrique's philosophy is simple: attack as a unit, defend as a unit, and work harder than your opponent. He rotates wisely, trusts his bench, and prepares each opponent with meticulous detail. In the past, PSG was fragile under pressure. Now, they look unshakable. They manage games. They absorb when needed. They kill off matches with cold efficiency. That's not just tactics, and that's culture. Let's break down the philosophy behind this. Luis Enrique has made PSG one of the best pressing sides in Europe. The press isn't constant, it's targeted. They wait for a bad touch or a sideways pass, then pounce. Ruiz and Vitinha are key here, reading triggers and stepping in. The timing is surgical. Nominally, PSG line up in a 4-3-3, but in possession, it often morphs into a 3-2-5, with Hakimi pushing high and Ruiz dropping deeper. This creates overloads, especially in wide areas. The system is fluid. Roles change within the game. Everyone adapts. When out of possession, PSG fall into a compact 4-4-2. The midfield double pivot keeps the shape tight. The wingers drop deep, denying space to opponents' fullbacks. This duality, between high pressing and deep defending, makes them difficult to break down. This isn't tiki-taka or gegenpressing. It's a hybrid model, combining discipline, intelligence, and athleticism. Luis Enrique has built a system that maximizes the talents of his players without becoming overly reliant on them. Perhaps the most underrated transformation: mentality. This PSG isn't scared of failure. They don't carry the scars of past collapses. They look like a team with nothing to prove, but everything to win. They don't play with tension. They play with freedom. That's rare for a team with so much pressure. There's chemistry, there's belief, and there's a genuine sense of unity, from the captain to the last man on the bench. No one sulks. No one plays for themselves. Even the body language has changed. In post-match interviews, players talk about the group rather than themselves. That might seem small, but in elite football, it's everything. It's the difference between lifting trophies and falling just short. You can see it in their celebrations, in the way they huddle before games, in how they recover from conceding. This team is emotionally stable, and that's new for PSG. Now only Inter Milan stands between PSG and footballing immortality. Inter are no easy opponent, experienced, defensively elite, and led by Simone Inzaghi, who's brought them back to the top. They have a midfield that can match PSG, a defence that rarely concedes, and strikers who thrive on the smallest chances.